Welcome, partners and players. I'm Dave Curd, Creative Director at PUBG Studios. We are extremely excited to announce that our fourth 8x8 map, which you may know as Codename Kiki, is finally coming to the game on July 13th. We've given you a small
That's
sneak peek
soon,
of Kiki
July
through the
13th.
recently released dev letters and marketing creative. But today, our team is proud to give you the first full-on experience of Kiki, starting with its official name, Deston. Today, we'll go over the development direction of Deston, including the type of gameplay we've been aiming for while creating the map, some of the key locations you'll come across, and much more. So without further delay, let me be the first to welcome you to Deston. When creating new maps, we always try to ensure that the look, feel, and mechanics are worthy of a new PUBG location. Think of it like this. Each of our maps needs to have its own perspective, its own unique gameplay, its own identity. When we have an idea that we're passionate about, something we haven't yet seen in a PUBG map, that's the spark that leads to the creation of a new map. So, what was Destin's spark? Like we talked about last year, we're excited about large maps, investing in our core gameplay, and providing fresh experiences. To that end, we've been thinking a lot about really exploring the different kinds of combat encounters big maps can provide. Gameplay variety is achieved by providing different mixes of verticality, density, and complexity. Our environments have always adjusted these sliders to provide unique, interesting combat arenas. In Destin, we wanted to crank those gameplay sliders to 11 and provide the most varied and challenging battleground yet. By offering an 8x8 map with dense vertical cities, rocky highlands, rolling plains, and deadly bayous, we can ensure that each match feels unique to the player. Players will have their short, medium, and long-range games tested in this battleground. And it's not enough to simply provide a really big map. We also needed to create new traversal tools to help our players explore it. So that's the spark. Combat contrasts. Short and long, dense and sparse, urban and rural. A fresh gameplay environment that provides a wide variety of engagements and a host of new ways to explore it. First, let's dig a little deeper into the environment. To further explain, please welcome Michael Gilardi.
Thanks, Dave. As mentioned, I'm Michael Gilardi, lead of PUBG Madison. Let's start big, and by that I mean the largest, tallest, and most dense urban environment we've ever made for PUBG.
There's a
This
pretty good
partially
look at the
flooded
map there.
megacity was built using feedback we received from Haven and learnings from creating large buildings and other maps. For example, on Haven and Miramar, every room of every floor of the multi-story buildings were traversable, making it difficult for players to find each other. So, to keep our destined cities feeling big without adding additional stress to combat situations, players will only be able to get to the ground floor, top floor, and some special areas like sniper nests. To help navigate between buildings and floors, new modes of movement such as ascenders and always-on parachutes are being added, which we'll talk more about later. Heading north, we'll find PUBG's first ever swampland.
Donc, en allant vers le nord, nous trouvons un type de zone très différente,
premier marécage de PUBG.
What the hell?
Comme vous pouvez le constater, il s'agit d'un
Plains provide the traditional BR experience of Erangel and Tago, and for this area we struck a balance of cover, scenery, and unique points of interest. This area also features my favorite spot, the Lodge, which happens to be the biggest building we've made in PUBG so far. Moving on, you'll find the Concert District with a gigantic chicken floating in the air, and this area, along with our paintball arena, provide for short, medium, and long distance combat, so you may see these areas in TDM lineup in the near future. The Western Highlands are where you can put your SR and DMR skills to the test, thanks to a lower number of plants and broader visibility, and the deserted coastal island to the east will allow for more hide-and-seek gameplay encounters.
Look
With
at that
Deston,
island
we
on
tried
the
to find
east.
the
That's
sweet
kind of
spot
crazy.
between fun and gameplay.
Yeah, I saw it too.
We want you to feel like you're in a real-life place with full-size buildings and larger spaces, and still have fun.
Audio's a little low for
You'll
you
find
guys, really?
real-world attractions like a golf course, BMX track, and still be able to find strategic sight lines at the forefront of a design. We're excited to get you all in to explore the cool locations of Deston, but there's so much more to a map than its scenery. So to talk us through Deston's main features, please welcome Arthur Lowe.
Thanks, Michael. As mentioned, I'm Arthur Lowe, Technical Director at PUBG Madison. Michael just talked about our desire to create a beautiful, feature-rich environment where players could interact with Deston in brand new ways. From the start, our focus has been to create a fun and immersive synergy between Deston and you, the player. First and foremost, we've added an entirely new mode of transportation to traverse the city center's immense verticality. We call it the Ascender, a motorized pulley attached to the side of many buildings.
Zip
It enables
line?
players to seamlessly travel from the ground to the top of a building and back down again. You don't need to be carrying any special items to use it, and its speed can be adjusted by using the sprint key. Just don't expect flying into the air to be a very stealthy mode of transportation. But part of the fun of having tall buildings is jumping off them, right? For Deston, we've taken the idea of the emergency parachute and made it an always-on default item in your inventory, allowing you to jump from Deston's many heights without fear. This utility parachute also allows those of you who occasionally still snag your parachute and fall to your death to redeploy it before the sudden stop ends your match prematurely. We've also added some special cell towers throughout the map
they've already had.
that allow you to
It's not really
combine
a
the
Call of Duty
functionality
ripoff.
of the Ascender with the utility parachute to quite literally launch yourself into the air and float down to safety. We've been having so much fun with these features internally, and we can't wait for you all to experience them as well. We also kept tactical gear in mind with Deston and have added some special areas only accessible via drone. These secret areas usually contain high-quality loot or special keys. As Michael showed you the swamp earlier, you might have been wondering what was the best vehicle for this biome.
That's kind of cool.
Rest assured, we've got a fun
hovercraft.
new addition planned that works on both water and land.
You can feel the lagginess already.
Like all of our maps, Deston has a selection of exclusive weapons, including
What?
the Origin 12, a slug shotgun with superior
Oh.
accuracy and range to make it more effective across all areas of the map.
Oh, that's exactly
and
what
a
we
new
need.
high-powered
A
SMG,
burst
the
shotgun.
MP9.
A fully auto shotgun. That's it. That sounds fucking hilarious. Come on.
For tactical gear, the new
I'm so
blue chip
excited about
detector
that.
is arriving with Deston. Think of it as a close quarters version of the spotter scope,
Shotgun.
which helps you detect the location of enemies within a certain radius. If that sounds OP, there are drawbacks. Because of the delay in detection, it does not display your opponent's position in real time, and it has a very small scanning range. The spotter scope was designed to help identify targets in the field. Consider the blue chip detector a tool for dense urban environments. We are always concerned about the core gameplay of PUBG, so we'll watch your feedback closely once you get to try it out. Another fun feature of Deston is working gas pumps. that enable you
Working
to
gas
fuel
pumps.
up
I love
vehicles.
this idea.
Just be aware that these pumps have an explosive reaction when shot, so fill up at your own risk.
This actually, I can't believe this wasn't actually before. Like, you know, this is just a thing now. Working gas pumps, I love it. What the?
There are a few more features we haven't talked about, but we'll save those for July. We created Deston to give you a huge variety of gameplay experiences
How much per
and are
gallon?
looking forward to seeing you hit the newest battleground for the first time. But for now, you'll have to settle for watching us play it. Let's check out some footage from the dev build. Just because of the sheer variety in gameplay across this entire space.
It is
What's
really
this
hard
area
to
you guys are
sell.
dropping into now? You said so mansions?
Yeah,
But,
mansions. They are kind of a house set that are used in a couple areas of the map. They're quite a bit larger than our typical house sets. So quite a bit of loot can be found in each of these buildings. For sure.
Well, this is also a dev build too, Curbs. So they're
And Dave, what
probably
kind of,
actually
what
playing
kind
in a
of thought goes
laggy.
into
It's pretty laggy for
larger
them too,
buildings
probably.
like this, and
But it
putting
gives
them
you a
in
good
as far
idea
as,
of like
where
they're
you
like
just
new
were, so how
buildings
you
and stuff.
design them, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know, every time we make a map, it, like I said in the earlier chat, it has to have its own identity. It has
Quite
to
a
have
bit
its
of
own
loot to
rationale.
found. The guy picks
So
up
we
a
were
pistol.
hoping for buildings that felt a little bit more realistic and grounded, and that means especially in this kind of Texas suburban sprawl, they had to be kind of large. So we had to kind of carefully balance the loot. We had to really be careful with the fences and the cover and making sure, you know, you can't just totally get geared out at one house and you have to keep it moving. And basically, we didn't want you to feel like you were playing a reskinned Erangel, right? So it had to have its own vibe. So we
What
were,
are the
our
chances the game
designers were
crashes on them,
playing
chat?
with loot
Can you
density,
imagine?
building complexity, and distance between buildings.
Very cool.
The city is just outside the play area.
Well, they suck in
got a
playtest
quad.
when you get chewed up, I gotta say.
That, yeah. Even with
Yeah,
one, I'm still gonna get chewed
The
up.
kick on that slug shotgun is unwieldy.
Yeah, fuck up that bot.
Woo!
Uh-oh.
Thank you for the assist. You saved my life right there. All right, let's
Going
grab
for the
this
motor
quad
bit.
bike, and I think I saw a truck down the street, so we could.
Yeah,
transfer.
there's one to our left.
Bye, city. For now, we'll be back.
I really wanted them to go in the city, but
Just gotta get through the checkpoint.
health bar different. Well,
Alright,
this is
this
PC,
truck
so
will be better
this is
covered.
also like the dev build. So this is like the a test server for the test server, like a private test server, basically.
So vehicles, obviously.
So there's gonna be
an
very
8x8
minimal stuff
are,
that'll look different.
I haven't seen
No gliders, you know, with the ascenders and parachutes. That's going to give players kind of all the.
That's
the
a
tools
decent
they need
looking
to get
vehicle.
around from the edge of the map to the center. But of course, gliders will be available in sandbox mode to.
Well,
make some
why does it
awesome,
sound the same
streaming
though?
content
What
that I'm sure.
car does it sound like?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It sounds like a
Got a little bit
Dacia,
of time,
right?
so maybe we'll circle outlaw paintball here.
They should have given it its own
to
sound.
confirm, this won't be the noise that this vehicle
Oh,
makes.
never mind. Okay, yeah, they're just saying that now, of course.
The engine noise?
Yeah,
That is correct. Yeah, it
Yeah.
has been updated. We are playing on quite a bit of an older build at the moment as we work to finalize Deston. So quite a bit of updates are in flight right now, including engine noise for this. There is a siren, however, and working lights.
that was my next question.
So
Yes.
you can role play to your heart's content.
That's gonna be hilarious,
looking forward to
chasing
those
people with the
videos.
siren and shit. That'd actually be kind of
Right.
funny.
Which area are you guys heading up to right now?
We are gonna head across this bridge and check out Buxley here. So I'm up on the left side of the city here. You can see a lot
that
of the
pattern just know that's a look but don't touch kind of situation.
I mean, if I'm gonna get a new map, what I want, the first two things I want is a new SMG and a new shotgun. We got to give the noobs even more ways to kill me, right? Just give them a fully auto
Oh,
shotgun and an
nice.
MP9. They'll be fine.
If
Nice.
I can pick it up for you, Andy, if you want it.
What was that? Sorry.
8x scope.
Oh no, I've got one. Thank
What?
you. I found two already. Yeah, I
Wow.
marked one for you.
Sometimes I struggle to find them.
Still trying to find my shotgun.
Oh, the Origin, yeah.
Yeah.
They're definitely around. They're not rare. I believe it. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but that replaces the SK12, I believe. on this
Yes.
map.
Are you insane? Relax, Ruby.
I love the variety of different buildings we have here.
Yeah,
Just
quite
in
a
this
bit.
one area.
I think
Nerd.
we're trying to limit the amount of building reuse to kind of give Deston here its own feel. Make these cities feel like they're lived in.
Yeah.
I
it's
say that I'm
definitely,
on a big main street, but there's some more interesting things here. I'm sure you've been cruising through some of them. Fast food.
But even in the last place you dropped and this place here too, they both seem relatively big, and they're not even the main city. Yeah.
Yeah, Buxley's one of the couple mid-level cities. There are no skyscrapers in this one, but there are definitely a few up in Los Arcos. Some much larger buildings with ascenders and some drone rooms. What you got there, Andy?
The shotgun.
Oh,
Oh, get it.
012. Right, so single. Look at that thing. First, let's see if we get the crouch.
Jesus.
Ooh, that sounds
Why
awesome,
would
but my
why would the
goodness,
shotgun
that,
have burst and
horizontal recoil
auto?
was crazy.
Like anyone's gonna actually use it on burst.
Yeah, we're
what's
hoping
nice
it's-
is you can.
Oh,
Oh,
so
go ahead, Dave. No,
I was just gonna say we're
after you.
hoping for new users. Maybe they just downloaded it. You can go full auto, turn a corner, be chest to chest with somebody, and just annihilate them. And then with our very high skilled players, once you get a handle of that vertical recoil, hopefully it's something you might want to occasionally choose instead of an SKS.
Yeah, no, I'd say that's going to be very fun to learn how to use.
Next
I
up,
guarantee
cell
you,
tower.
chat, it's not gonna have
Yeah.
any recoil on console. It's gonna be the biggest noob weapon in the world.
Of course, gotta let everyone know you're coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
You'll see that orange ripped tarp. That's usually a clue that when you see that kind of visual indicator, there's an ascender, somewhere to climb. In downtown, you'll look and see that tarp and say, okay, there's a sniper up there. There's a reason for me to go up there.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Would you fly here, Andy?
And HA can pick it up and show it off.
How about in here so we don't get shot?
But regardless, they only. I prefer that new.
Yeah, they're special to the O12. So it'll be called a 12 gauge slug.
So
That's
spawn
kind of
with the
weird.
12.
Pardon the developer name.
Oh yeah. Everything looks like that in dev builds because we need to localize this game. And
I don't like how they came out with the new
I don't know. I'd
ammo
say
specifically for that
150
shotgun. That's
languages,
kind of
but
weird if you
it's
ask
probably
me.
more.
They should have just kept a regular shotgun shells.
So we've got a question and then a follow-up question from chat as well.
Anytime you release
Will we
one
eventually have
gun
Deston as one of the ranked
and the
/ esports
only
maps?
so they're gonna have one gun
Great
that has
question.
one ammo
Honestly,
type.
It's up to you
It's
guys.
kind of weird.
If it's
You know
something
what I
you
mean?
enjoy playing, if it's something you we see through the data, you're selecting, you're choosing, you're having fun, you're loud on socials. We're going to hear the feedback.
Like the
we're gonna take
P90, yeah, but the
feedback.
P90 comes
If
in
you
the
guys
crate,
wanna
so you can't
play
really
it, we wanna
compare it to
give it
that.
to you.
Though.
And then the follow-up to that: will swamps count as water /
P90 you
unplayable
get with the
areas
ammo, it's
for
like
the
there,
settings in
yeah.
ranking competitive play? I think you had said that the swamps are not deep enough to really affect movement.
Yeah, that's a great question. We purposefully, for the sunken air parts of the city in Ripton and the vast majority of swamps,
Pick up the
it
3
is
vest.
ankle deep water, right? Because we
There
don't
you
want
go.
you doing the
He
slow
heard me.
trudge trundle through the water animation. We don't want you proning and kind of being mostly
What is this?
hidden by
This
the
is
water.
a sneak
It's
peek
really
at the
just
new
more
map.
of a vibe.
First
and
reveal
then
of the new map
a
that's coming out in a couple
justification to
weeks.
spawn interesting foliage and
These are
small,
developers playing it.
tree trunks that are awesome cover. So yeah, we should have some circles that end up in swamp.
All right.
Maybe.
I'm just amazed so far at the variety
It's
of
an
buildings. Like,
MP9.
every
That's what I
location
said.
you've
I'm
been
like,
to
is that
so
an
far
MP7?
has a
It's an
different building
MP9.
type in it.
I think the team did a marvelous job. We have city, farm stuff, suburban stuff, industrial
So
stuff.
gimmicky? What's gimmicky?
Resorts, skyscrapers. We're typically doing a bottom floor, a roof, and on some of the skyscrapers, kind of sniper alcoves or drone rooms. So, if you picture a building like a wedding cake, that's probably a bad metaphor, but you've got the top with the candles, you've got the bottom, and then there's just like a little layer right in the middle. That's a great example, this guy here.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. So, we have this like yellow flowing tarp. That's to kind of get players' attention of like, oh, maybe dudes are there, maybe targets are there. And of course, the bottom floor you can fly through. And of course, you can also show through the elevator, rise to the top. So that's the big difference is these buildings aren't totally hollow. They just have very special kind of gameplay flow. And then the other big lesson is cover on the ground. We know nobody's coming to Ripton if it's too dangerous.
It does look like
we've
Warzone
done
kind
a
of.
lot of great
That building.
tree work and hardcover awnings, signage to make sure, ideally, snipers are primarily looking for other rooftop snipers, and they can harass players on the ground, but it's more difficult because of all the ground cover, as you can see here.
And it looks nice.
Yeah, all of these trees were placed specifically so that sniping people from those nests was harder.
And you were talking about water before, how some areas of the city are sunken, but it's mostly aesthetic. Are there any areas that are completely underwater that players can explore?
Absolutely. Like as you cruise around the city, and it's a big city, so I don't want to put AJ on the spot to find it. But we have a few parking garages, subterranean parking garages that are totally flooded. And you get these great moments where, and you get to splash underwater, loot, and then kind of come up on the other side of the building. And that's a great moment when you're trying to go with the circle and cut through a building instead of going around it. So, another thing we found in Haven and some parts of Los Leones.
I'm not sure if it's going to be ranked or not. They haven't really said. This is literally the first.
You're afraid to go there.
We've only been watching this for about an hour now.
These buildings always have ways through the middle, sometimes ways under, sometimes ways over. We want to make sure you want to visit the city because it's easy to get around and get through.
Did the inspiration from that come from the tunnels in Carrigan? Because that's what that bit there just immediately reminded me of, was the bit where you go underwater in Carrigan.
Yeah, that was actually a happy accident. We the tunnel just carved into the ocean volume, and it's like, oh man, that's fun. Like what if we really did this on purpose? So we absolutely made the choice to show off that, like, hold your breath, go underwater, have that spooky claustrophobic feeling, get some loot, and then like pop out the other side and feel like a badass.
Yeah, I feel like what if we did this on purpose as a little known dev secret?
Yes. Yeah, it's this is an 8x8 map. It's 64 square kilometers. We're trying so many different layouts. It looks like AJ's maybe going to go up and do some parachute plague and do some building to building.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You can't get on top of this one, so maybe I shouldn't do that. But let's see.
Oh, that's a good example.
This is a good one.
And there's no limit to that shoot, right? You can literally bowl it as many times
Yep.
as you want in a match, right?
As long as, yep, as long as well, you can pull it multiple times if it gets knocked from you and you hit a building or something. There you
Another
go. Some
example.
more in the
Oh.
underwater. Let's see here.
Oh, I think it
Alright.
would be fun. Yeah, the city
Yeah,
is,
where would you
is
like to go?
amazing, but I want to go to.
Kind of getting some skyscraper to skyscraper action besides just parachutes would be something we're very interested in doing.
Yeah, it's all player sentiment. Like if people really enjoy the verticality that the ascenders and parachutes give, and maybe we open it up to other maps, maybe it appears in Miramar, kind of around the edges, then it starts to, you kind of imagine, hey, we could let's invest in being able to shoot with this thing if it's going to be popping up in lots of maps. If
Okay.
you get right
cool.
up
What
on
the
top
hell
of
is
the
this
dam, AJ,
area?
and then we'll
Yeah.
we'll call it. Yeah, love these floating solar panels.
Hmm.
Lot of good cover, a lot of good gameplay, and yeah, this is really just a killer location for final fights. You can ascend her up and down the dam. The dam has lots of interior.
Dude, that looks like
structures you can
Warzone too.
traverse.
I'm
You
just
can
gonna
kind
say
of,
it.
there's a pipe in the water that you can swim up to. Yeah, if you go straight down there, AJ, into the water.
I feel like it looks
There's
like the old
that,
Warzone
that
map.
little, pipe
Like,
Sort
to
of.
your
In here?
right.
Yeah.
Just keep going
Ah,
around.
right here.
Yeah, this guy, the one in the middle.
This is a new
Yeah, you can
PUBG
get
map.
through there.
Cool.
With so much water and all these water tunnels on the map, have we modified the breath timer at all? Someone asks in chat, or are there enough areas to get air that we didn't need to?
We didn't have to. We designed everything to be swimmable, so it's not. There should not be we never ask you to go underwater and you not have enough breath, if that makes sense. But for future maps, we're certainly open to
Munching on
maybe
some sour
tactical
cream and
gear
onion
like
chips.
rebreathers to open up more water play.
Cool. Okay, well, that seems to be a good time to wrap up the questions. Dave, AJ, how was the session for you two?
I mean, the map.
Guys, a free way to support me and my content is to head over to accounts.crafton.com. You're going to link your PUBG account, head to the Creator Appreciation Program, scroll down and find my name. And basically, any purchases that you'll make on PUBG, we get a small commission for. Takes 2 seconds to do. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.